This is Group 4 of the 2025 SBD World's Strongest Men. Their final qualifying events to see who makes it to the finals. Hello and welcome back to the 2025 SBD World's Strongest Man here in Sacramento, California. I'm Carter Blackburn, along with five-time WSM competitor Rob Kearney. We're here for the conclusion of Group 4's qualifying round, which unfortunately saw the withdrawal of Great Britain's Luke Richardson because of a right bicep tear in the first event, leaving 4 athletes remaining to fight for 2 coveted spots in the final, one of them American Trey Mitchell.
We talked about consistency, and Trey is showing just that. Having placed in the top 3 in every single event thus far in the qualifying rounds, Trey is looking to work his way up to guarantee his spot into the finals. With only 2 events to go, it's going to be exciting to see if Trey can take that top spot and make his way to his next World's Strongest Man final.
Mitchell, a 4-time finalist, looking strong to qualify for a 5th time, just 1 point off the lead. Trailing the 23-year-old Foyu in his 2nd appearance here, and so far possibly looking at a breakout performance for the young man from the Czech Republic. Let's take a look at the standings after 3 of 5 events. With just 2 events to go, Foyu is leading with Mitchell 1 point behind. But Maxime Boudreault, who made the podium here in Sacramento in 2021, and fellow Canadian Tristan Hoath, who finished 5th in his debut last year, are within striking distance. The 4th event is a new take on a WSM classic. It's the Titans Toss.
10 sandbags, each weighing 30 pounds, ranging from 7 to 12 meters away from that 12-foot high bar. Athletes have to throw these bags over that bar, only getting 1 attempt per bag. Time limit of 1 minute, and most sandbags over that bar gets the win.
And so here's Tristan Hoath from Canada against Maxime Budro, who was trying to get his mind right before the Titans toss with the 10 huge sandbags.
And I will say, having competed against both of these guys, I don't know what is in the water up there in Canada, but these Canadian athletes can always seem to throw things far.
And right on cue, there go the first 2 bags. Quick work by both.
Yeah, this is a take on an event we've seen multiple times, the sandbag toss or the keg toss, but never in this version, with the sandbags getting further away the more successful you get. Both athletes successful with 6 bags and make that 7 for both of these guys.
I mean, quick work, too. Now, that one's going to hit the bar and not count, but easily crossing. So 9 now for Budro. I mean, this is a strong showing from Hoath, but Budro, did he clear it? Yes, he did. 10 bags.
What an amazing performance from Maxime Budro. We knew they were going to do well. Tristan Hoath getting 7 in just under 30 seconds. But the real story, Max Budro making a late charge here in the standings, getting all 10 sandbags, 46.91 seconds. I mean, this is just so great to see from Max, coming out hot here on this event, knowing he needs some big points to inch his way to one of those top 2 spots in the final, getting all 10 bags here, leaving no doubt he's one of the best throwers in the competition.
Trey Mitchell.
And up next, Trey Mitchell and Foyu tried their hands on the bags. More Titans toss when we return to the SBD World's Strongest Man.
The SBD World's Strongest Man on CBS Sports is sponsored by SBD, proudly supporting the world's strongest athletes, and by Connect, beyond maximum security.
Welcome back to historic Old Town Sacramento, home of this year's SBD World's Strongest Man and the continuation of the Titans talks.
Up next, two athletes, Trey Mitchell and Andre Foyu. But Andre Foyu coming in this year with some excitement behind him. Let's learn more about Andre with his SBD power profile.
Andre Foyu, 23 years old, 6'2", 364 pounds, representing the Czech Republic. Feeling good, feeling really ready to compete. I've always looked up to my dad. He used to compete in handball, and he's always been a role model and just trying to go in his footsteps. Growing up, we were always led to doing some sort of sport or activity, so I got into handball pretty young, up until I went to the gym a couple of times and found out I was pretty good at it, and it just became my passion. And I love the sport, and I love training, and it lights the fire even more.
I've actually got a client competing in World's Strongest Man this year, Andre Foyu, who conveniently is in my group. He's one of the lads that I train, and he's an absolute monster.
It wasn't really my intention to get onto the scene so fast, but I'm trying to do whatever I can to stay here and to stay here as long as I can.
Taking Andre under my wing, and he's a serious talent, and it's nice to kind of help him with his journey and his development as an athlete.
The World's Strongest Man title is something that no one can take from you once you have it. I would be lying if my eyes weren't set on making the final and then doing the best I can. That's the only goal, doing the best and beating everybody else.
And Andre Foyu appears to be well on his way. I mean, Rob, at age 23, he is a bright star now in strongman competition.
A young buck for sure. It's going to be exciting to see how Andre and Trey go up against each other in this event. We just saw the static strength from them both in the deadlift and the overhead press, but this event is a little bit more dynamic with these sandbags having to launch them over that 12-foot high bar.
So meaning rather than just simply a lift, not to put it lightly, but this event requires more movement and more agility.
There's a lot that goes into an event like this because we have that explosive power, we have that agility, but there's also a level of accuracy that we have to play with this as well, knowing what trajectory to throw that sandbag in order to get it over the bar. And we can see both athletes seem to be struggling here in the late side of this event.
Mitchell, after a hot start, is going to have to settle for 6. Foyu, you have to be disappointed with the 3 bags, but he's still very much in contention here at 2025 SBD World's Strongest Man.
Certainly would hope for more than 3, but we talked about finding that trajectory being a little bit difficult, even for Trey, only successful on 6. But both still in a good spot. You can see here Trey going after one of those bags, really reaching behind him, launching that bag to find that spot. But there is our event winner, Maxime Boudreault of Canada, coming in, getting all 10 bags in a time of 46.91 seconds.
So as we take a look at the standings, Foyu and Mitchell continue their cat and mouse game, once again tied 15 points each. Canada's Budro just behind them with 14 points. Tight race for sure. Let's check in with Kiana.
All right, Maxime, we have to start by looking back just a little bit. What does it mean to you to be back on this World's Strongest Man stage, considering just the hurdles and the injuries that you have dealt with in the past?
It's nice to be back, and I really enjoyed the injuries just to show us how hard it is to come back. It was really a good mindset to have, being ready to prepare to just accomplish everything that I can and to show to everyone I deserve to be where I was 2 years ago.
And then coming back to this stage, dominating in this event, you felt like this was one that you could compete in and perform extremely well. What was it about this overhead medley that you felt this way?
It's throwing. It's my event. That's it.
And finally, just looking ahead to the next event, you said this is another one that you feel is one of your strengths. As you look ahead to this final event and where you sit in this group, currently sitting at 3rd, what's your mindset?
This brought me in tied for 1st, so we'll see which order I'm in, and I'll just need to watch what they're doing and just manage to stay in 2nd place to be in the finals.
Awesome. Congratulations.
Perfect. Thanks, guys.
With 3 men within 1 point of each other, this next and final event will be epic. The Natural Stone Medley, when we return to the SBD World's Strongest Man. California's beautiful state capital of Sacramento, home to this year's SBD World's Strongest Man, where Group 4 is continuing their qualifying round with their final event, the Natural Stone Medley.
Press, shoulder, carry, and load. 4 stones from 271 to 400 pounds stand in the way of these athletes and the final event of the qualifying round. Only 1 minute and 30 seconds to complete all 4 stones, and the fastest time wins.
Canadian Tristan Hoath is up. And Rob, we've talked about this, but this is such a challenging event because of the element of surprise. You don't know what you're going to get in the Natural Stone Medley.
That's right. I mean, these athletes got their first touch of these stones when they got here to Sacramento. 271 pounds here for Tristan, and he gets that down call from head referee Magnus Ver Magnuson onto this 350-pound stone. And Tristan seems to be making light work of these first 2. Now he's got to get this stone up to that shoulder. He then has to take one hand off, like he did right there, and that's what gives him the good rep.
So the balancing of that weight on one shoulder with one hand. I mean, all of the events and all of the strongmen are impressive, but that is beyond.
390 pounds on this Husafelt replica stone for Tristan. It's a little bit low on his chest. I would like to see it a little bit higher. You can see it slipping down, and he's racing against that stone to get it to the mat.
And he did.
20 seconds.
20 seconds for the final stone.
400 pounds. Tristan has to get this stone off the ground to his lap and on that platform, but time is not on his side.
Yeah, that's going to be the end of the stone medley for Hoath, but still, Magnus for Magnus in there say, okay, official Tristan Hoath 3, still a positive result.
Absolutely. Getting 3 stones in 1 minute and 4 seconds. Certainly a great performance here on the Natural Stone Medley. Tristan came in and you see him struggling with that Husafelt stone, but making it to the mat to get the good rep. A great performance from Tristan here to start the Natural Stone Medley.
So up next from Canada, Maxime Budro.
And he is right on the cusp of being one of these top 2 athletes to make it to the finals. So a big performance here on the line for Max.
First stone is up and down. And that's a solid start for Maxime.
Quick and efficient, but looks like he's stumbling a little bit.
Catch your breath.
Not sure what happened there. Might have lost his breath there. Going a little bit too fast with that first 271-pound stone up and overhead.
Now struggling with stone number 2. So this is approaching a setback for Budro here in the Natural Stone Medley.
You can see Max there grabbing that towel off to his side under his belt. That is a tacky towel, so it's got a little bit of grip and stickiness to it that helps these athletes stick to the stone to help them get it off the ground. Because in this Sacramento heat, these big boys are sweating, that stone is warm, and we need all the help we can get. But Max seems to be struggling getting that stone off the ground.
And I think that's going to be, barring our miracle in the last 10+ seconds now. So for Boudreault, just a disappointing Natural Stone Medley with only 1 stone down. So Appreciation, but also disappointment.
With 1 stone.
And a
time
quick
of
first rep there,
9.81 seconds.
you know, getting the
Let's hear
first
it
stone in
for
just under 10 seconds. The points were close. There's still a lot to go on, but we'll see if that's enough to get Maxime into the top 2 spots. You see him just slightly off balance with that 271-pound stone overhead and just not able to get a good enough grip on that 350-pound second stone.
Andre Foyu and Trey Mitchell will battle it out for the top spot in this group. Who will prevail? Find out when we return to the SBD World's Strongest Man.
The SBD World's Strongest Man on CBS Sports is sponsored by SBD, proudly supporting the world's strongest athletes.
And we are ready to punch the tickets of the next 2 athletes into the final. But first, 2 more heats of the natural stone medley.
Representing Czech Republic, Andre Foyu.
Andre Foyu, the young rising star.
Ready? On the
He
whistle.
has been nothing but impressive this entire qualifying round. So let's see how he finishes out his performance here, making smooth work of that first 271-pound stone.
And just like you said, Rob, there is something special about the style of Foyu. I mean, not to say that you don't do this without effort, but he does make it look perhaps easier than most.
Yeah, I will say the one thing I've been most surprised about is how much composure he has for such a young athlete. Only 23 years old, lifting that 350-pound stone to his shoulder onto this 390-pound Husafelt stone replica to get this 3rd stone. He just seems so cool, calm, and collected the entire time.
And now in the natural stone medley, keep an eye on the clock. So if this 3rd stone is down in under a minute and it's going to be close, is it down? Yes, it is. And I believe Foyu says, yeah, I'm pleased with my performance, and he should be.
You know, why do extra when you've already done enough? No need to waste the extra energy and go for that final stone. And there you have it, Andre Foyu getting 3 stones in just over 1 minute, securing his spot in the World's Strongest Man final. Andre has just looked absolutely great through all 5 of these events, and especially here on this final event. With this 390-pound stone on his chest, he was able to just go to cruise control and secure his spot in the final.
And that is what Trey Mitchell will be looking to do in the natural stone medley. Trey Mitchell of the United States of America trying to secure his spot in the final as well.
And Trey has looked smooth and consistent the entire competition thus far. So I would expect nothing less than that from him here in this event, as he has that 271-pound stone up and overhead, getting that down call on that first implement. Now on to the second stone, 350 pounds he has to get up to his shoulder. And I will say one thing about Trey is he is probably one of the best natural stone loaders in the world, as you can see here.
We like to say in our part of the country, don't mess with Texas, and I don't think anyone would mess with Trey. Look at how he is just beast moding through the natural stone medley.
390 pounds on the chest of Trey Mitchell as he takes it around that barrel, back to that landing pad.
Wow.
And let's see, is he gonna go for the 4th? Yes, he is.
Why not?
400 pounds here for Trey. Has to get it up off the floor to his lap and up onto that platform. And here he goes.
Oh, I mean, does he not make it look easy, like picking up a cast iron skillet?
I mean, that was phenomenal.
His 5th SBD World's Strongest Man final. It's
On to the
big
final
ticket,
for the 5th time for Trey Mitchell.
Getting all 4 stones in the time cap. You see Trey here with that Husafelt stone on his chest, taking a nice stroll and loading that 4th and final stone. Let's hear from Trey down on the floor with Kiana.
Crowd, one more time. Give it up for Trey Mitchell. And making your way back to the final. I know it's been a journey, but just tell me how you're feeling right now.
Oh, I'm really excited. You know, coming last year, I didn't make the finals, and I know I'm capable of more. So being able to, you know, win my group and go to the finals is always, it means a lot to anybody to make the finals. At World's Strongest Man, being the top 10 strongest man on the planet is really fills you with pride.
Absolutely. And just a part of that journey, you dealt with a little bit of some injury issues and now making your way for a chance to win it all. How are you feeling about that?
I'm really excited to go into the finals and prove that I'm one of the world's strongest men.
You told us earlier that you're kind of like a diesel truck. Once you get going, it's hard to stop you. Do you feel like you're building that momentum at the right time as you head into the final?
Yes, ma'am. You know, like the next 5 events are going to do really well for me.
Awesome. We can't wait to watch. Congratulations, and we'll see you at the final.
Thank you so much.
So final standings, Group 4, the American Trey Mitchell and the man from the Czech Republic, Foyu, have qualified for the final. Canada's Budro and Hoath take 3rd and 4th, respectively. Only 2 more spots available in the World's Strongest Man final. Group 5 will take on the grueling qualifying round next. With the return of Evan Singleton, can one more American punch their ticket to the final and make their attempt at victory? Find out next time on the SBD World's Strongest Man. For Rob Kearney and Kiana Martin, I'm Carter Blackburn. In association with 45 Live and Texas Crew Productions, this has been a presentation of CBS Sports Network, the 24-hour home of CBS Sports.